Let's see. Open creator dashboard and Spotify. Hey, 24, hello. Look at that, redeeming it straight away. No hesitations. Hey, Nania, hello. Second. I should add in a second. Just got audio now. All good. All right. Had me worried for a second that my my microphone wasn't working. But you know me too well, 24. Even clicked on the notification, and you were still third. You were third, pork chop. One moment. Oh, is this a K-pop song? I'm opening up Spotify. What can I play? I feel like I've already sort of like entered a loop. Open Discord. Right, hold on. But dzień dobry, Nania. Simple weather. Import in StreamerBot. Ah. Oh my god, it's just one massively long string of letters and numbers. Right, I don't know if I can do that live though, when it's already running. But is that the weather command? Just spent that time writing the message. Dobry wieczór. Panu. Dobry wieczór panu. I think. I remember. Yes. That's the formal like good morning. I hope I got that right. All right, hang on. Let's see. Can I do import? Wrap text. Neural. Get weather. Okay. What are the commands? Weather. All right, let's see if this works. Good evening. Yes. Dobry wieczór is okay. That's evening. Wieczór. And then dzień is okay. Is that like dzień dobry is morning good, and then dobry wieczór is good evening? Now I'm trying to learn Polish grammar. Oh my god. All right. Author just 24. Oh. The commands that are being imported will be set to disable. Be sure to edit these to enable them. Okay. Good evening. Hello. Buongiorno and buonasera. Yeah, it is. It is true. But then the dobry is like on either side of the word. I guess or maybe the which way is it? Is the dobry that moves, or is it the what's the term? Participle, active participle. Does Hannah change my name? Ah, I had a suspicion. I had a suspicion. And you check, it's Dobry Den. Dobry Den. Dobry Den. Ha. Okay, hang on. If I go commands, let's test weather. Enable. Try it now. Try it. Let's see what happens. It is active. It's active 24. Did it work? Oh my god. Weather in Sydney, 14.9 feels like 14.3. It's even got the wind. Holy shit. Poznan. What do you do with the N with the apostrophe on top? Is that like even longer? 20 degrees feels like 17. Only 44% humidity? Oh my god. Look at those rookie numbers. I got, what was it? 92%. Get on my level. Now, I used to think that that humidity percentage meant like if it was 100, then I was walking into solid water, but I'm not sure what that is. What? Ah, is it? Relative humidity. Shanghai. 83. Oh my god. Are you telling me Sydney is more humid than China right now? I can't believe it. What's Wuj? Wuj. 19.8 feels like 19. 64. 14, it's a little bit windy. Not as windy as Newcastle though. Zero mils rain. Newcastle 0.1. Poznan 0. 0.2 in Sydney. It was raining quite a lot earlier. Basically not raining anywhere else. Yeah, like all of the east coast of Australia at the moment is like getting hit with a big cold front. It's just rain and not so much wind, but lots of rain, and it's very cold. Very cold. Waking up to all of the windows being covered in like dew, so I have to clean that and open all the windows to let the cold in, so I don't get mold. Ugh, poor me, poor me. Instead of rogue core, me and the boys. There's what 8 of us were playing yesterday. Just driving, playing a little bit today as well. Cruising, driving, crashing. Game's okay. But I have bought Subnautica 2. So I don't know if we'll give it a crack this batch. What's the term? This streaming portion of the week. But I think Road Core comes out, is it tomorrow? Or was it yesterday? It was 20 something. I've been paying attention. Have a lovely stream. Need to catch a train from Łódź to Poznan. Well, now you know the weather in both, Nania, so you can prepare. Buy a cup of coffee or some tea to stay warm. Unless 20 degrees is considered hot in Poland, then maybe can of Coke. Can't go wrong with a can of Coke. Yesterday, very hard game. Alright, I will buy it and add it. How is Sydney that humid? It's been raining like all day and the past couple of days. Hannah, don't expect to win your first run. What if I did and solo? So are you going to hard carry 24? Can you hard carry for everybody, please? But yeah, have a nice train ride, Nanya. We'll catch you later. And let's play some music too. Can't forget the music. And I heard that play some of this. Let's turn that down a little bit. Thinking more about matcha. Papa. Yeah, take care. Papa. Alright, what does that mean in Polish? What does mean in Polish? Do 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 do. Bye bye. Papa. Nice. Papa Nanya. It even rhymes. Saturday is Battlefront 2 day. I'm gonna have to buy a hard drive in a minute. I had to uninstall Anno, unfortunately 24, to make room. Say it ain't so. Not so bad. It's not so bad. Right, we'll add this in. I'm thinking we make a public square around the water tower. 120 gig download. Yeah, it's huge. Someone zap you. Hey, Polytruck. How you doing? Yeah, Anno was 120 gigs. I don't know why Anno's that big. I mean, there's not that much in the game. Doing fine. Nice. Not was it, what do they say? Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Polchok's always first. Need to choose who to listen. You got too much choice now, huh? I think Pork Chop is either pulling your leg or got mixed up between the check-in and first. But we're gonna add in a little public square here around the water tower. I wish there was like a church asset that wasn't massive in the vanilla game. Mixed up? Me? Never. No. Never, ever, ever. And we'll use this public square as like the transition between this European stuff and then like the British wall-to-wall buildings. And then we can like detail the in-between of the buildings here once we get around to it. But now we have a water. Plug that in. Very nice. Now I need sewage. Where are we going to put this? On the industrial island. Guess it was 24/7. Every day. Every day. But yeah, I got Subnautica 2. So we'll give that a try. See if we can build a house underwater. Build a city underwater. I'm sure we can. Now, I haven't played Subnautica 1, but I do know that there's like evil fish in the game, so we'll see how we do. Yep, no, I haven't played the first one, 24, so I'll be going in mostly blind. But that's how you have the best time, right? Not knowing what to expect. One has a multiplayer mode. Ah. Wait, there's a survival game that's not multiplayer? Oh my god. This isn't techno. What is this playing? Okay. this what is it? A Spotify playlist is a bit weird, but whatever. We'll run with it. Kind of sounds like what's that Dutch? Gabba. Right, yeah, so this will be our square, and it'll have a whole bunch of stalls sort of all facing towards this Dutch water tower. And then on this side of the road, what can we put in? We'll still keep a few of like the Netherland buildings, but we'll just make them like a bit more sparse. Access to my laptop. Task paralysis immense. Another game. Another one. My poor wallet. Ah. Thomas the Tank Engine, huh? It is tempting, but I want it to be on sale. It's like $60, I think. Which is unfortunately very expensive. I say that, and then I spent like $100 on. There we go. What, spent $100 on Forza Horizon? So don't take me as a good example. Okay, we'll put this guy there. And now it's time to grab some of the British buildings. Here we go. So we can put this down. See, it's kind of similar, but different enough. And I think it's the roof colors. And there'll be a transition. Yuzu lemon flavor's okay for that water, but it's a bit boring. And we need power here. So I don't really want to have an exposed cable visible. Visible anywhere for that matter. How's this guy look? I think we can have this guy here. I think it'll make sense. If I surround this with like park and stuff, then it'll blend in a bit better. What's this? Fiber optics. 10,000 gigabits per second. God damn. That's more than the entire Australian network right there. And where do we want to... Do we want to connect this to the grid? Yeah, why not? This is all low... We'll do a temporary fix. Power is always the last thing on my mind. Alright, we'll try that. Are you kidding me? Brother. Alright. Just bring this into here. This is doing my head in. Come on, bro, just connect. Hey, Bagnario. It's been so long since I've drawn in power infrastructure, I've forgotten how it works. Do 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 do. You know what? It's got me. I accept defeat. There we go. We're pretty good. I've organized my electricity stuff to get fixed. And I potentially got the plumbing fixed. 144. Hang on. I'm taking a photo of that. That's my screenshot. Alright. A mod for your build, a cannon. Organize some games. I'll put a poll in for a day, and then I'll make a list of games, and you guys can suggest some games to play, and then we'll organize a day. I'm busy, dude. Work is getting crazy. There's the end of financial year stuff is starting to ramp up, and as per usual, everybody's panicking. So I've got a lot of fun Teams meetings where a lot of people are just having a heart attack over nothing. And then my entire day is gone. Gundam movie scene at Ipswich Railway Museum. Huh. I remember there's some I think it was on Facebook. There's like a few pages or channels, whatever they're called, that like share like historic photos of Sydney. I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of like there's a historic aerial imagery viewer, so you can see like Sydney in from I think it's from 1943, I think, all the way up to now, basically. So New South Wales imagery viewer, I think it is. It's really cool. You can see from like you can see all like the World War II trenches, part of a political party. I can make promises that I can't keep, huh? Let's see. There it is. Hang on, I'll switch scenes real quick. I want to show you guys this. This is really cool. That's not it. What the hell's happened? Just got the infinite loop. Hang on, did my displays change? There we are. Okay. It just showed OBS looping in on itself infinitely. But this is... You got like the list of dates here. And you can scroll all the way from 1943 to now, basically. Oh, 2013. But this is what the Sydney Harbour used to look like before everything got built. Before the Sydney Opera House. Before the Sydney Opera House, it literally was a tram depot. Yeah, it is not. Yeah, it's a while ago. But you can see like all the tram lines heading down to Circular Quay. Hasn't changed too much. I think if we do 2013 view, just offset. Oh no. But you can see like the outline of the wharves basically still the same. Yeah, it was it was everybody was very surprised that it got made, Bagnario. Just a lot of things went wrong. I think they had to redo a whole bunch of it because I think they set the concrete wrong and it was while they were building they could see it like failing. But then this is the old before container ships, all those cargo ships would load and unload their stuff onto the finger wharves with these big warehouses on there. Before we had the standardized cargo shipping container. And then there's the Woolloomooloo one, the huge one. Oh my god, with three. I think these are all Navy ships. Yeah, because they have here Garden Island, and it used to until World War II, it was a island. This dry dock that's there right now turned it into an actual like connected it to the mainland. And then like the on ramp to the harbor bridge is just like imagine building this in city skylines. This thing you have so much traffic right away. This would be terrible for any kind of traffic flow. Imagine this: 1, 2, 3 points all entering this one thing. Jesus Christ! What were they thinking? What were they thinking back in 1943? Yeah, it is. It's only like from the 70s, I think, that it became standardized. And then you can see here, like all these additional finger wharves, but you can see this railway depot slash yard here. This is the goods line, so it goes down. It still kind of remains. It's been turned into a light rail, but it all consolidates down here. And then it pops underneath and then joins the main line. And you got the old jail here, still there, but now it's a courthouse, just a courthouse. And then the power station there. I think if we look at where is it? Yeah, you can see here all the air raid trenches. So they dug like a whole bunch of zigzag trenches into the parks and stuff because it's during World War II, so they were afraid of bombing. Yeah, you can see them here as well. I don't know if they dug into Hyde Park. Maybe a little bit there. There's some more there. Yeah, basically, in almost every park, they dug those air raid trenches. And then this was only during World War II. The anti submarine net. Is it called a Steve door? Yeah, it is. It is. I think there was a few names for it. Just like over the years, it would change. But yeah, Steve Door definitely is a term. But the same way that there's the, what was it, the golden chain or something in Byzantium, Sydney had its own version for a little bit. Used to go strike every few years and stop the harbours. I mean, it worked. They got their money. Gets erased. Yeah, like you can still see um, in some industrial, the older industrial estates, you can see where the train lines used to go through, and it's just been removed, ripped up. Because, as you know, without trucks, Australia stops. And that's only because they ripped up the rail lines. Yeah, what did I want to show? Yeah, and like the just really weird setup for the the Sydney Harbour Bridge Railway. So this side is still here. It's the train station, but this side is a tram. It used to be a tram stop, but then look at this. Like, what is this dog leg? Who designed this? Unacceptable. But then yeah, you can see there's the path of the Warringah Freeway, and you can just see it's like carved through all of this. On the first day, God created the car. True, true. But is this Cockatoo Island? No. There's an island. Here it is. It's got the dry docks. This island was literally for building navy ships. Only accessible via ferry. So very very secure. There's actually a few islands in Sydney Harbour. And then this is where they held the Sydney 2000 Olympics. An older abattoir, quarry, and industrial site. But yeah, you can see there's a rail line to the quarry there. Passes down and over. Just a lot of rail lines, but it's all gone now. Oh yeah, and here. So way back, we built that custom cemetery, and this is what I was thinking of, where you had the railway, and then there was an actual station. There's a mortuary station, and the trains would rock up and drop off the body to go into the cemetery. I don't know how common it is elsewhere around the world, but this was definitely like a thing here. I think it had more than one station. There's another one there, and then one down there. So there's actually three train stations within the cemetery. That's crazy. And then here's Everleigh Railway Workshops, which was the largest railway maintenance facility in the Southern Hemisphere for a good while until the 80s when they started decommissioning it. But all these big warehouses are still there. A lot of the smaller stuff has been ripped out. Giga side quest. I'm easily distracted, but I think that it's worth it, huh? We're learning the history of Sydney, and here's Centennial Park with the circuit going around. But I can't remember what these are for. These arrows, I think they point to the closest airbase. It was something like that. Building mental references. This is how I got like a general idea for what I wanted to build. Violently irate by making up a smug, reflexively modernist 1960s employed, 1930s born state bureaucrat. We're inventing our straw man to set on fire. It's like this golf course right in the middle of prime real estate, and it's just completely isolated. This far eastern suburb. The houses here go for about 60 million nowadays. $2.20 used one of. Ah, okay. But yeah, like here, this is a good example. It's like it's stuck around until I think it was like the 80s, early 90s. There we are. See, it's still alive. Let's see how long it takes to load in. But then I think it was the 90s that it all got ripped out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see? It's like completely changed in a decade. You can drag the screen between the photos. Ah, people can just shit 60 million. Somehow, intergenerational wealth 24. That's what it is. Wouldn't make that much in my entire. I know. I don't know how they do it. It's definitely like intergenerational wealth and then probably a very good tax agent. But that's pork chop. That's how this the whole heritage movement in Australia got started because in Woolloomooloo had a bunch of developers say basically that and then be like, we'll demolish every single house within, I think it was this area. And they had a master plan to build like basically giant interconnected concrete skyscrapers. Um, and then there was a union movement got involved. Basically, all the people that were associated with the union stopped, like refused to do any work, and then a few people started getting disappearing, so it got violent. And then, fortunately, they managed to sort of shut down a lot of the redevelopment. Although it didn't really work, a lot of it got demolished. Because if we compare this to 43, But this is basically how the whole heritage movement got started in Australia, was this area. How come all the photos don't load? Pew pew. What happened? Oh, wow, he didn't get... Right. He's gone. Clanker spotted. Clanker down. It must have got through it must have got through the what do you call it? The all right, fine. We'll play that. What is this? Heart of the Hurricane, Beyond the Black. Yeah, use special characters, and the Seribot hasn't been updated to know about it yet. They've been tricked. Why is it not playing music? Come on. There we go. Yeah, very smart, Clanker. They got through our defenses, our one layer of defense. Well, technically two. We got the Twitch auto mod, and then the Seribot. I keep forgetting what it's called. Proper building music. Maybe. Yeah. But I'm going to have to find an alternative to stream elements now for the multi-streaming, because I was literally using them to multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube, and it's not going to work anymore. Which is a bit stinky, a bit poopy. Restream. Don't stream to you. That's how I get the VODs up. Nobody watches it, but it's good for VODs. Because then people can look back fondly as the screen just shows it not moving and me talking for 2 hours. Two streams on the freeform. Meld Studio. Okay. That's more work. Hey, Emerald. Yes, I've been good. Hope you've been good as well. Almost done with Elden Ring, huh? Isn't there a boss that is like extremely fast? And she's got like a big sword or something? That'll be interesting to see. Will that be Emerald Jelly's first rage quit, huh? This is the first playthrough. There's a first for everything, huh? First rage quit. It'll be one for the ages. Have to link it to Bloodborne. At least I know what I'm doing there a bit better. The previous experience will carry you through. until it doesn't anymore. Right, I was thinking of turning this little green patch down here into something, but not sure what. Meld also has Spark. Just how they steal your job. You just tell an AI what kind of overlay you want. Is Meld free? Do you have to pay for it? That sounds like you have to pay for it. Might get ambushed less. aren't the Dark Souls and all of that those games, like the first boss is like the tutorial boss and they're really difficult, right? Meld the streaming software is free, not sure about Spark. Claude, please generate for me an overlay. Sure, I can do that. Absolutely. Alright. Try and turn this into a little bit of a not a publicly accessible park, but just something nice to stand so you can watch the train, the choo-choo train go past. Even on the free plan? Okay. Do we continue that? Yeah, we'll have to. Have the taste for design. I think I'm good at bossing the AI around. I can try. How's the city going today? It's going. We're slowly building out a little block or two for our city. Deleted some images we needed for docs, and there was no backups. Oh no! Isn't that the new thing that AI likes to do? Is like delete the entire system. Wasn't there something that happened recently? Like it deleted like an entire like all the data in like 9 seconds or something crazy. Yeah, the excuse is I'm easily distracted. It's you guys. You guys are distracting me from building. I can't believe. Am I going to accept responsibility? No. No, never. It is the viewers who are the problem, huh? Easily distracted, especially in Timberborn. Yeah, I played that as well. I got up to... I don't know how far into the tech tree or unlocks I got, but I ended up just building like... It feels like the game is done once you solve the whole flooding and like droughts and bad water. Because I managed to just make it so that there was never any bad water. You like put the caps on all the bad water sources, and then you just set up like a diversion trench for when the bad water comes through the fresh water source. And then after that is literally just make as many beaver houses as possible. Hey Chromia. Yo 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 yo. My 420th follower, huh? Because you could build like the robo beavers too. And they're pretty cool. What's happened to this road? Why does it look like that? Rogue core time. You don't need luck 24. You're able to beat the whole thing solo, right? So if anything, bad luck. Bad luck 24. You need more of a challenge. Look at me, so cruel. What's up? Nothing much. We're just building in between getting distracted by random things. Hope you get clankers today. Oh no. I can talk shit, but I can't hack it. You've got me. You've got me. Break a leg. I feel like it'd be really good for the UK buildings to have a one wide. But alas, like these. A million light years. An arts performer. Just 24 is actually a ballerina. Or, ballerina, the A means lady, right? So ballerino. There we go. Been working and helping around with family this week. Ah. And by that, do you mean hanging up posters of different K-pop groups on the wall? Finally switched to the stream on the laptop. Ballerina from John Wick. Don't make 24 angry. I'm not Moya. Not helping them with their collection, huh? Oh, can we be silly and do that? Ooh. I'm gonna get rid of those. Hell yeah. Don't mess with his dog. Or his car. Still looks very dense. Could be called heinous. Ah, yes. And it also works as a sundial. It's not too bad. No worries for the look. Heinous. Heinous' heinous tower. The heinous tower of heinous port. Heinous. The heinous tower of heinous land. The heinous tower of heinous land. What am I saying? What am I saying? Looming over everybody. It's just that Willem Dafoe meme of him looking up. There's a water level risen. How do we turn that into a dirty joke, huh? This is going to be like a ultra dense area. I don't really want it to be. I think we shall find a balance. No, for real, the water enclosure next to the train is underwater. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Hold on. I feel like we should probably turn this into something like a what do you call a water embankment, like a proper one, and we can like divvy it up and have it in like different stages of reclamation. Right, there's the poop. The poop processing is over there. It's some rice paddy vibes going. Water to sea level feature. Yeah, what's the chance that I create like a tsunami for my entire save and demolish everything that I built? That's probably very high. Do Dutch farms kind of look like rice paddies? We've got like the European style buildings and then the land reclamation. Let's see, Dutch polder. Do we have a view of what it looks like inside a Dutch polder? Polder? A Dutch polder? Oh, it does. Kind of. Modern pump or gemal. Not a pump. It's like long channels. Yeah, so all of them look like very narrow rectangles, the farms. I reckon we could actually do that, and then it'll kind of look like the Thomas the Tank Engine thing as well. Okay. I think we could do this. All of the references I'm looking at, I think we can do. Some great farms on his Dutch build. If you use the water features mod, you can turn the water damage off. Yes, exactly. The windmill will finally have a dry spot. We'll probably put the windmill here. But actually, in order for this to work, we need to raise it up quite high. Because basically, you create like this big earthwork. Yeah, so you have this big earthwork that will... There we go. And then inside you have these lower divisions. Right, and if we're divvying it up, how would this have worked historically? Yeah, the rail track is underwater in a few points, but we can ignore that. We don't have to worry about that just yet, huh? We'll obliterate everything. So I think this would be reclaimed like that. And then from there, let's try that. And we want it to be angular. So this is our first reclamation. So that will be kind of empty. We'll have more than one windmill. And if we have this windmill here, for the sake of the Thomas the Tank Engine vista that we're trying to recreate, how do we set this up? We set up like that. Hey, Dava. Hello, hello. Yeah, so we have that there, and then maybe another pole that comes out. Turns that into like a triangle looking thing. Channeling our inner Dutchman. Though I don't think I have any Dutch ancestry. Venetian ancestry, however. This is what we're doing. Oh, you playing Subnautica 2, Dava? I have bought that game myself, and I'm planning on giving it a crack. But I've heard it can be a bit spooky. Bring that out there. Go all the way across. How does that look from here? Yeah, so the windmill is like the nexus, the central point. Ooh. And I feel like we should probably keep some kind of drainage channel just to keep water circulating. So keep like a creek, which we can have run through here. Ooh. Like that. So we'll turn that into a creek. Nothing to fear, really. Not yet. Isn't there like I haven't played Subnautica 1, but I've seen like a little bit of it, and isn't there like a grabby dude who like grabs your submarine? Kind of like a giant hydra? Some kind of snake thing with his head's got like claws on it. A crab snake? The floating Teletubby. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Jeez. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The Nihalanth or something like that? If my memory's right. With the crystal for a brain. Wasn't it a giant baby? Wasn't it a floating baby? Nihalanth. Yeah, he's got like a massive head. Strange creature. This one is one hit kill. Ah. Okay, so the game's easy, huh? I have nothing to worry about. How are we divvying this one up? Like this. I think this one will make it look like it's been drained a bit more. And do we have a square brush? Can I rotate the brush? There. That's good enough. So if I go for what the douche have done, kind of like this. The douche. Just survive. I am keen to make a massive underwater base. And then we'll make it so that this is like one supersized. Like that. A bit more. More. Less. Perfect. There we go. And then we'll narrow down the spaces and fill it with plants and all kinds of things. Go back to default. And now we just round it out. Run from it like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so panic run? Like, can I drop everything, yell, and then run for my life? Or is it gonna chase me down? How likely am I to actually escape? Basically that. What is this music? Hang on. This is like... My God is Dead Beyond the Black. Is this the whole album? Symphonic metal. Huh. It sounds familiar. You like getting chased in horror games? I do terribly in horror games. I should I think I posted a clip on YouTube of like me playing oh, what was it? Lethal Company. From this is before I started streaming as well. And I shit myself to the little bug dude. uh, I don't think it's on YouTube anymore. It was like 2 minutes of me screaming, running away from the bug. But apparently he's harmless. He just wants to steal whatever you're holding. You suffer from thalassophobia. I like I'm not worried about it until I think about it, and then that's when I'm like, oh shit. Like I remember when I was like younger doing like water skiing and stuff like that. I'll be fine until I fall over, and then I'm just like, it's just me in the middle of the lake, because this lake had sharks in it connected to the ocean. It was just me sitting there going like, I could something could bite me right now, and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. As long as it's not jellyfish. I did have a bad experience with jellyfish before. Not 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 jellyfish the streamer, but the actual jellyfish animal. I was biscuiting on a back, like, what is it? Just pee on yourself. I tried that, it didn't work. It was like there's the boat's like tow behind it, like the inflatable raft thing, and then people basically your job is to hold on as long as you can until they fling you off. Well, my family friend had a boat, and he was driving me around on it, and I was holding on the back, and then he's just basically doing wide circles. So I was like flying off, holding on for dear life, and then fell off and landed into like this massive patch. As far as the eye could see was these massive jellyfish. They were maybe like, I think they're about just over a meter long, each of them. The big orange looking things. And I just basically skimmed off the top of them and then landed on one. A wide curve. I mean, it was. And I just got stung all over from like here down across to my back. And holy shit, that hurt. It was crazy. That ruined my whole trip. Because I just had like this big welt all across. How do you pee? I was in the shower and they're just like trying to like see if it could do something, but no. Requires some skill. It's fun though, pork chop. It is fun doing that. Hawkesbury River jellyfish? Let's see if that works. Jelly blubber. Yep, that's it. That's him. These were much bigger. Oh my god. It hurt like a motherfucker. Yeah, that's exactly what it is that I saw. Requires some belly power. Well, when you go fast enough, you just skim along the top when you fall off. Ridden down sand dunes on a boogie board. I haven't done that. I there's oh, what's it called? Like 7 Mile Beach or something north of Newcastle. I think they do it there. It is a while to drive to though. But I would like to try that. I think that'd be fun. Used to crack out the boogie board when I was a kid. Catch some waves. Okay. So we'll see how that ends up looking after we let the water do its thing. Recommended some Aussie channel who was walking from Sydney to Newcastle. There was a guy recently who walked from, I think it was WA to Sydney. The Catman, I think he is some Japanese guy who came to Australia and walked between Perth and Sydney. Yeah, Catman. I think he's now walking to Brisbane. Yeah, he finished part the main part, which was Sydney Perth to Sydney, and then he said I'm doing part 2, which is Sydney to Brisbane. It's a lot easier. Made this walk on New Zealand dressed like a hobbit. Holy shit. Hopefully he wasn't walking barefoot the entire way. Yeah, so Catman finished the original trip, and then he's like doing 2.0. And then I think there's some copycat who tried in the US, and then he was walking in the middle of the highway and got hit or something like that. Something ridiculous. I think he's fine, but just like, what an idiot. What a dumbass. Catman. Japanese adventurer Kentaro Jin walked over 6,000 Ks pushing a wheelbarrow while dressed in a leopard print suit. I'm surprised the suit lasted the trip. He must have had like a couple of spares. Americans, am I right? I mean, you said it, Dava. You said it. I mean, I think it was recently. HMBZ? From Philadelphia to somewhere, to California. Oh my god. He's in Spain, I think, bicycling. There's a guy that I've seen in the US. He does like stealth camping. That actually seems interesting. Or he like hides behind like a highway sign or under a bridge or like in a hedge and does like stealth camping. Because that's really interesting. Because like you might be like sitting in traffic looking at the window or something, and then be like, I'm like, I wonder if I could. If I was homeless, I reckon I could set up a tent in there or something like that. True, pork chop, true. Very dangerous. Although Australia is also a bit dangerous. I remember there's a guy at work on the field team was out at a farm, and then the farm owner walked out of his property with a shotgun. Scared the hell out of him. Because you could send them a letter that you're entering their property, but sometimes they still come out looking for a fight. So even in Australia. He basically like ran for his life out of the property. It was a big police response. But then wasn't there the story? I don't know how true it is, but wasn't there like some kind of hitchhiking robot that was like going through? I think it made it through Canada and then spent like a week in the US and then got destroyed in Philly or something like that. I remember that always does the runs online every now and then. Environmental inspector in Queensland, yeah. Did some stealth camping when I was young. Too tired, drunk, maybe drunk, too drunk. Slept in a cardboard collection box, huh? Surprisingly cozy. Hmm. Because I do like camping, although I've never. Last time I went camping, I screwed up my back for like half a week. It took about that long to recover because the air mattress deflated, and I was just sleeping on like the lumpy ground all night. It was so painful when I woke up. Like I couldn't even move. It was so sore. I had like bruises along my back and on my side. Oh, it was terrible. So maybe what I should do is instead of an air mattress, I bring a cardboard box. It's more cost effective than buying an air mattress and a sleeping bag. Okay, I'm gonna put a dirt road across here. And then at the top of this, we could probably do dirt road 2. Carnival's too drunk to enter home, so he slept on the cycle. I mean, if it's comfortable enough, it's not too cold. Yeah, Polchuk, I'm surprised that you slept on a cardboard box in Finland. Was it during summer? If it was in winter, Jesus Christ. That would have been a fight for survival. Maybe autumn? No snow. Okay. Phew. Oh yeah, yeah, you've got the Arctic Circle sun hours, daylight hours. And actually, my missus has a friend who's living in not in Helsinki. She's living in Tallinn. No, that's Estonia. Hang on. They did say Tallinna, maybe. Hang on. Let me double check. Let me double check, Polachuk, because yeah, Tallinn is the capital of Estonia. Let me double check. We'll be back in a sec. But they're getting married soon, so we might be invited. Hang on, I'm gonna double check. Right, I got it. I got it. I got it. It started with T. Hello, hen. I've. It is. It started with T. Polytruck. It's Turku, the oldest city in Finland. International Tea Day, according to Windows. Yeah, so they live in Turku and are going to get married soon. Was our capital under Swedish rule? Ah. It says oldest city in Finland. That might not be true though. Russians moved the capital to Helsinki. Ah. Yeah. Away from the Swedish power base, huh? But yeah, if I get invited over, I'll definitely have a little trek around Finland. It is the oldest. Ah, yeah. Finnish history would be interesting. Oldest. So Turku history. 1229. In the 16th century, it was the second most important city in the kingdom after Stockholm. Ah, interesting. Yeah, 1229. That does feel a bit late though, right? For European cities. Because there would have been like tons of villages and things. Baltic countries are crazy beautiful, yeah. What do you think there was back then? That's what I don't know. Because when did the Finns first settle? Like hunter gatherers from eight. What is that? 8,500 years BC wasn't the most popular target. Well, I think it was part. It was part of the Amber Road. There's the Silk Road, and then there's uh, from the north, from Scandinavia down to basically Venice, down to Rome. It's called the Amber Road. How far north does it go? Pretty much up to Estonia, it looks like. Even Vikings said no when they got some ass kicking. Finns are hardy folk. In the Bronze Age, permanent all year round cultivation. Siema turbino phenomenon. Ah. Interesting. The Trans-Canadian Road. Before the Acadians. Well, there's a lot of like pre. It's like I guess Rome is a good example. There's a lot of pre-Roman civilizations in Italy. I remember studying that at uni. Like the Etruscans is a good example, or the Samnites, or the Oscans in like central Italy. About 10,000 years before. 40k. It's a site in Ukraine. Huh. Hold on. What's this? Oldest city in the world. Because I think I've heard of that Herliger, but is it a city or is it like a meeting place that people would come to for a couple of months of the year and then just hang out, like a giant campsite sort of thing? Because there are quite a few of those types of settlements. Because yeah, I've heard of Katılhoyuk in Turkey. Yeah, it's is this? I'm trying to find the name of the site in Ukraine. Because like Stonehenge, for example, had like massive campsites and stuff around because it was a historic like pilgrimage sort of thing where people from all over would Kukutani. Kukutani. Massive mega sites. All right, let's see. Neolithic, Chalcolithic archaeological culture. Wonder what happened to them. Yeah, not the name of the place, but the culture. Huh. Poduri? It says there's like a strange mostly unknown. Like they don't have any solid theory on why, but like all the settlements would exist for between 60 to 80 years and then it get burned down. But they don't know if it was through violence or from something else. My Danetsky. Hang on, my Danetsky. Have inhabited near 5000 BC. And it's talking about location. Encompasses about 250 hectares. That's huge. 1.5 Ks by 1.1. Whoa. Oval pattern. Yeah, okay, I have seen that. That picture looks familiar. 1,575 buildings, including dwellings, fortifications, sanctuaries, and some two-storied houses. Okay, so this would have been a permanent settlement. If they put two-story, if they went as far as making two-story houses, then it's definitely a permanent settlement. Pre-agriculture, so it's hard to support. Allegedly the earliest pre-agriculture settlement. Ah. So would it have been like what they theorize it would have been abandoned? Or not abandoned, but like very like minimum inhabitants for most of the year? That's interesting. One more solo run completed. 24 has done it. Already mastered the game. Younger dries. Map of the spread of farming into Europe. So it reached like the Bosphorus in 6,600. It looks like it reached Ukraine 6,000 and 4,500 years ago. Does that coincide with the largest point of that city? (3,700 BC was the highest population. So no. Yes. Hang on. No. People spread it in hunter-gatherer groups. But I imagine, like, back then, if hunter-gatherer groups aren't that large, is it hunter-gatherer groups typically aren't like massive populations? They're sort of spread, like a couple hundred people spread out in quite a large area. So I'm thinking Maybe it was like, hmm. And how often would they have been raided by a sophisticated society, like a society with such a large amount of logistics to be able to do a large scale fight? Quite old compared with the rest. Yeah, but what I'm thinking is like their their activity is like isolated to the local region. They wouldn't have been going up north. Raids were on smaller camps. True. I think it. Hmm. Three, maybe four. Hmm. That is a good point. But then, would you hear about it? Would you hear about that happening? I'm not sure. Because it looks like there's this large central square. I think it might have been like a commerce thing, like for bartering and trade. Hawk Tour 6-7, 420, 69. Yeah, because even like the Wikipedia page isn't quite sure what it was for. Like, defense would make sense, but that wouldn't be its only function. And then the fighting would have been more between groups, right? And if they're all coming to the same place. Oh, hang on. When was the Bronze Age collapse? Way before. Okay, never mind. Oh no, no, no. 13th to early 12th century BC. So after. And when did this place? Remains of a small settlement dating to the 4th century AD. Talianki is another one. $4,000 later, yeah. I did get side quested. I haven't. I've all I've ever seen from this is like that one picture of the huge circle in the space in the center. So this is interesting. Yamnaya culture tumuli, so big burial mounds. Many of the buildings that were excavated had, pardon me, 2 stories. Walls and ceilings were decorated with red and black designs, along with ceramic figurines. 450 hectares. Whoa. So the estimates are like ranging a bit wildly in terms of like how many people actually live there. People are saying between 6,311, and then some others are saying maybe 25 to 30K. This is actually like it's the aerial photography is like it's quite large. I wish I could read more about it. It's all a bit like the Wikipedia is very sparse. Kukuteni Tripilia culture. So they did farm as well. I guess that the farming got introduced like later. Hmm. Compact the conversation. Had to feed 10K people on berries and meat. That's what's making me think like the logistics of feeding that many people living there constantly would be way too difficult. I imagine that it would have been like a cyclical population. Mesopotamia, where they would have like, which makes like if it was a cyclical population, then it makes me think that it was might have been more rather than defense. It was like a place where they gather for commerce and like some kind of spiritual significance. Megasites in context. Ukrainian forest steppe. Yeah, what was the climate there before? Because Bronze Age collapse is theoried that Bronze Age collapse happens after this, but it was theoried that a big factor behind it was climate change induced migrations of people. So, what was the climate like in the Ukraine before? Or in Ukraine before? No idea. Can you please be a primary source, Erliger? Only 8,000 years old, sure. Tell me everything. What did you eat back in the day before pizza? What was fast food? Ugg says food tastes good. Berries and meat. Yum yum. Isn't that when the Black Sea started rising? Hmm. the Roman collapse. What was it? There's quite a few things for that. It was mostly like political. Quite far inland on forested slopes. The east and west one. Yeah, well, the Bronze Age collapse was climate change. I don't know if that was caused by a volcano, but the bad like the climate change caused quite a few years of like inconsistent and bad harvests, which made basically people riot. Cooling down led to bad harvests and a long winter. There was a big migration of. It's kind of like a chain reaction. I think people in Eurasia started moving west, and then that was pushing other groups further west again. And then I think there's like the Huns, for example, and the Goths all started like moving around. But the Goths came from, I'm pretty sure they came from Scandinavia, if my memory's right. But then as the Goths move south, the Germans start moving south into like the Roman border regions, and then as the Huns start moving west, all the other people start getting pushed into the Roman border regions, and then because a lot of the historic record is like basically the Romans paying a whole bunch of barbarians money to either join the army or to settle in areas. I think the Byzantines did that a lot. The Avars, I think they're called. But I'm not sure. I know Krakatoa caused quite a few bad harvests, but I think it's called the Great Migration. No. Migration period. Germanic, Hunnic, and Slavic tribes enter Roman territory. 300 to 600. There's a crisis of the 3rd century. Hunnic invasions, where the Visigoths crossed the Danube River fleeing the Huns. Crossing of the Rhine by the Vandals, Swabian Alans. Forgot about the Vandals. Yeah. I'm not sure when exactly they made it like the official religion of Rome. I think it was around that period. I have to remember. Man, I studied all of this in like uni, but I've forgotten it. Haven't had to use it. 300 AD. AD. Well, it would be, and then an emperor would change their mind and then make it illegal, and then the next emperor would change their mind and make it legal again. They like to flip flop on their decisions. But there's also Yeah, I think there's like lots of examples of where like the Romans would promise the Germans or Slavs and stuff like that when they'd come in to be like, okay, if you serve in the army for a couple of years, then we'll grant you a parcel of land out here. And then they serve in the army, and the Romans like, actually, never mind, and then end up with a fully trained, experienced army running rampant in their borders because they decided to scam them, and then end up just getting screwed over. Legalized Christianity. Nah, that is the Romans. The Byzantines are the Romans. They're the same. They just lost control of Rome. But I think at Constantine they still had Rome. Roman Empire under Constantine. Well, that split thing is a British thing. No, it was still united. It had when did the empire split? Yeah, because like there's been plenty of because what's his name? Gibbon wrote a big history of Rome, and then to fit his like explanation for things, he basically was like, "There's the Eastern Roman Empire and the Western Roman Empire," because there were two. Like after one of the emperors, both his sons administered one side, the other administered the other, because it was viewed as like a more efficient way to govern the country, because it was a massive administrative task. And prior to that, you'd have like all these, because Rome's basically just constant infighting over everybody trying to claim that they're the emperor. Because they'd how do you say, redrew their administrative boundaries constantly in like an effort to try and minimize the amount of revolts that would happen from one general saying, actually, I'm the emperor, and then just going rampant with his army. Because they split it into four, they split it into three, split it into two, and then I think it's just after that split into two administrative regions, they started getting more and more like autonomous. And the concentration of wealth shifted from Rome to Constantinople. Because Constantinople's closer to the Silk Trade and to the Middle East, where all the money's flowing through. So it makes more sense for the money to pool in Constantinople rather than in Rome. And then most of the Like there was a lot of during like the migrations and stuff, a lot of people coming through towards Eastern Rome, but the vast majority of them went towards the Western Roman Empire because the army wasn't as well funded, so the weren't able to repel as many people coming through. Until ultimately the Goths and Vandals and all the other groups came through and it just fractured. Because the Goths, I think Odoacer is the guy who came in and took over like Italy and then Illyria. He swore fealty to the Eastern Roman Emperor. Beginning of Middle Ages was the fall of Constantinople. Yeah, it's like balance of power shifts because the Byzantines, or the Romans as they called themselves, lost a lot of major battles. It's like the Turkish migrations from the same area of the world as like the Huns, for example. They migrated in after as well and beat. I think it was Manzikert is the main one. And there was like the Umayyads, I think, did a big like basically took over all of the Middle East and North Africa from the Romans. Well, the Crusades was happening while the Roman Empire still existed. Because one of the Crusades got, I think it was the fourth one, ended up ended up being turned against the Romans. Because then the empire got split into, there's the Latin Empire, the Empire of Trebizond, and then the Roman Empire. Let's see. Volcano crisis of the okay. Hmm. Yeah, the year 536 is the worst year on to be alive or something like that. Hang on, let's see. Pardon me. Oh, that was a weird one. Whoa. Bit my tongue on that first one. Jeez. Now that was another instance. That's Charlemagne. But Odoacer, the Ostrogoth, I think it was Ostrogothic king that conquered Italy from the Western Roman Empire. He said he was like he swore fealty to the Byzantine emperors. Basically, I am administering this part of the empire on your behalf. That's how it was worded. And then after that, I think the Lombards came in and conquered northern Italy. I'm pretty sure he did. Odoacer. Because he was like a Roman mercenary. Patrician of the Eastern Roman Empire, yeah. So yeah, I think there's. I remember reading a book. But like the Western Roman Empire was just like massively unstable at that point because they'd had generals just constantly fighting each other. Think you're making all of this up? No, it's definitely misremembered, but it's not made up. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, there's something about he like declared fealty with the Eastern, like the Emperor. Yeah, establishes political power with the cooperation of the Roman Senate. Yeah, it's a bit complicated. It's never as straightforward as it's usually made to look. Poking me with a stick, huh? Trying to make me hurry up. No, sir. Can't rush art. Not at all. Well, I mean, I remember I just went through all of that in history at uni. I remember it's like the history of Rome, and then the Middle Ages, and a little bit of prehistory, which was more like anthropology, basically. But yeah, they went over like different factors leading to the fall of the Roman Empire. And like the first thing they tell you is that Eastern and Western, like the Eastern Roman Empire was the Roman Empire. Even after the West fell, hard AF to manage a huge empire like that. Yeah, it's like the logistics of running that country, a country of that size. Rome never fell. We wish, huh? Exactly, skill issue. They just needed to improve their micro, huh? Never in our hearts. Oh my god, we got Screamo. What is this? What is this music? Don't allow Screamo on this. Let's get this out of here. It's still Beyond the Black. How long is this album? They've been playing non-stop for ages. This isn't black metal. It says it's black metal, according to Spotify. It's symphonic metal. Does that sound better? German symphonic metal band. Huh. Symphonic. What makes it symphonic though? More of a high note. Don't know how to explain. Epic and grand instrumentals. Is it like the trumpets and stuff in the background? I guess it's like the chorus in there, and then radius delete. I think people were recommending that mod as like a way to fix there's like a bug that screwed up my save, but there was a bug that like changed all the surfaces and you couldn't delete them unless you used a specific mod. I think it was that one. Deletes more than you want. This is Epica. They finally changed from Beyond the Black. Epica. So this is different now. The journey of growth follows a spiral. Okay. Symphonic metal. It's got like a lot more violins and brass. Poor man's Nightwish. Alright, Nightwish. Saw some streamers deleting more than they wanted. For the content, huh? Alright, let's see. What is their most streamed song? Nemo. Finding Nemo? Oh, these guys are symphonic metal. Fronted by Floor Jansen. The most successful Finnish band worldwide. Oh. Biggest name in symphonic metal. Huh. The third vocalist. They've been around for a very long time? I'll try and keep this all a bit squiggly wiggly. Third? Not third, third. Not second, not third. And the best. Try that. Alright, let's see. Keeps buffering. Might be my internet. It definitely isn't performing as well as it used to. Maybe because I have 1,000 tabs open. I've got all the Finland tabs, and then all of the Ukraine proto culture. Ghost River. Romanticide. Have you tried turning it on and off again, 24? I think I have heard that riff, yeah. That second voice is. Sorry. Ghost Love Score. Do they have that in here? I've definitely heard that riff. From Wacken. This one's just Ghost River live at Wacken. See, Floor Jansen should be doing all of the singing. Why is this guy? Why is this guy in there? He's the bassist. I need more floor. Aren't saving. Have you got Skive conflicting with what you set the game to? I remember I had a thing where it didn't do it all the time, it just did it once. Where like the playset that Skive was loading was different from the playset I had the game loading. Yeah. But I always get it never saves my key bindings, so I just ignore it now. My key bindings haven't saved for a long time now. There's our polders taking shape. They look ugly now, but just give me a bit and they'll look nice. I do. Thank you, Vagnari, for reminding me. I took a photo of your comment, so I'll look that up. Collision be gone. Disable accidents. Extended tooltips. Ah, weird. Yes, it's always more. You just haven't found it yet. It's lurking. It's lurking in the background. Oh, thank you. I look amazing. Thank you. So kind. Thank you very much, Floor. Alright, I'll bookmark that Holochuck. Other bookmarks. There we go. Not me? Oh, how rude. How rude. Those are the ones I changed settings for. Yeah, okay, there's definitely more then. Alright, but it is... Oh, 12:40. I'm a bit late. I got to go. Let's set up a raid. Who's live? I will. I like that, actually. Oh, let's give Shilka a raid, huh? Have fun at work? Oh, I wish. Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you. I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm going to check out that the rest of their album, Polytruck. I'm enjoying that. Much better than the other stuff that we were listening to. Huh. Yes, I will. Alright, let's see. Type. Yes. Cool. Rightio, guys. I'll catch you all on the next one. You can use Simple Mod Checker Plus for saving your key bindings. There we go. Thank you, Rookie Thomas Herliger. That might help. But yeah, see you guys. Love yous. Ciao.